Welcome back, my lovelies. Once again, this is your Papa Queen coming at you. Always keeping it real with no fluff or fake thrills. You heard? All right. Here's a straight up message about why blaming the Most High for the chaos in your life doesn't cut it. Let's get real for a second. Blaming God for the consequences of your own choices, that's a cop out, plain and simple. Some people want to put every bad situation on God's tab, like He's out here trying to trip you up. Newsflash, baby. The Most High isn't in the business of sabotaging lives. He gives us free will for a reason. It's a gift, a blessing, but it also comes with responsibility. You got the steering wheel. Now, how you drive is on you. Think about it. Every day, life hits you with choices. You can choose to take the high road, or you can let anger, pride, or greed steer you. But here's the thing, when you keep swerving into the same bad decisions, don't go crying, "Why, God?" Like He's the one who mapped out your route. It's easy to blame Him, to look up and say, "Why are you doing this to me?" When the truth is, baby, we're the ones who keep driving off the cliff. God didn't set you up for failure. He gave you a mind to think and a spirit to discern right from wrong. That's why it's important to listen to that little voice. Blaming the Most High is like looking at the rearview mirror instead of the road ahead, distracting yourself from where you're going by pointing fingers. The choice is yours, yet many treat it like some invisible chain, thinking they're stuck doing what they do. Nah, that's on you, fam. Let's keep it all the way real. Sometimes you know exactly what's going to happen if you take a certain path. The Most High warns you. He'll give you that nudge, a little tap on the shoulder, like, "Are you sure about this?" But you ignore it. You turn off that warning light, thinking you can handle the consequences. But when it all crashes down, that's when people start calling God's name like He didn't give you every opportunity to make a better call. You ignored His signs, His wisdom, and His guidance. And now you're living in the mess you created. Free will isn't a free pass. Just because God gave you the choice doesn't mean He's out here endorsing every move you make. Oh, He's not. He's not up there nodding in approval every time you cut corners, lie, cheat, or hurt people. Free will means you get the privilege to decide, but it also means you own the outcome. You don't get to pick up the pieces of your mess and act like it's a mystery that things fell apart. If you plant chaos, you'll reap confusion. If you sow dishonesty, you're going to harvest broken trust. That's not God punishing you. That's you reaping what you sowed. You heard? God gives us wisdom, but wisdom doesn't work if you're hard headed. Let's say you're warned about a relationship, a decision, a situation. God put people in your life. He gave you His word. He gave you that gut feeling, and still you said, "I'll do it anyway." So when it all goes south, who's really responsible? God didn't create that mess. You did. Stop for a second and think about all the things you've prayed about. How many of them were things you could have avoided if you just followed what he laid out for you? Sometimes we're out here asking God to fix things he tried to protect us from in the first place. God, please help me. But maybe he tried to help you months ago, years ago, when he sent someone to speak wisdom into your life. But you didn't want to hear it. We treat him like a bailout, a plan B, rather than a guide. But guidance isn't guidance if you're ignoring it. Don't get me wrong here. God loves us beyond what we deserve. He really does. He can take a mess and turn it into a message. He can take your wrongs and make them right. But not if you keep blaming him for where you're at. Growth doesn't happen when you're pointing fingers. It happens when you look inward and say, all right, that one's on me. Now that's maturity. That's taking ownership. God doesn't expect us to be perfect, but he does expect us to learn, to grow, and to make better choices. You can't keep walking around as if life just happened to you, because every choice you make is a building block to your future. So here's the challenge. The next time things go wrong, pause before you start pointing up at God and ask yourself, what choices did I make to get here? Be honest with yourself now. God can work with honesty. He can move in truth. But when you're still blaming him, still avoiding responsibility, you're holding yourself back. Growth means standing up, taking accountability, and saying, God, I got myself here and I need you to show me the way out. And trust me, he will. He's always ready to lead you out of darkness. But you got to be willing to follow. It starts with humility, with a heart that says, I choose your way, not mine. And next time, when you're faced with a choice, don't let impulse drive you. Don't let emotions or pride dictate your decisions. You don't have to take the first option or the easiest one. Slow down, baby. Slow down. Listen for his guidance and move wisely, because the Most High has already set before you the path of life and blessings. All you got to do is choose it. It's all in your hands. You heard? All righty, family. It's that time again. I wish you all blessing and honest correction. Stay humble and stop making yourself stumble. I'm out.